Hi. So I am reading an article which explains why the law is also considered as a social determinant of health, right? And I actually can relate to this aspect of this conversation because I used to work for the Botswana Network on Ethics, Law, and HIV and AIDS, it's called Bonella. This is a human rights organization serving to protect the rights of people living with HIV in Botswana. So I am familiar with this idea of how the law can either hinder or it can be supportive of people living with HIV, right? The law can either be a hindrance or it can be supportive in the quest to make stigma better in our communities, right? So the article that I came across it was written actually by Oarabile Dingake, Professor Oarabile Dingake. He wrote this article in 2017. I've shared a short bio of who he is so that you can also feel comfortable and confident to share this information because it is verified, it is credible information, right? Remember this channel, we're talking about what social determinants of health are, factors such as your age, your gender, where you live, where you work, where you were born, which region you live in of the world, right? So these are factors that can be called social determinants of health. They can determine your health outcome. So one key sphere that can determine your health outcome from wherever you're living is the law. It is policies. It is these organizational or institutional factors, right? And I'm reading this article. It is called The Rule of Law as a Social Determinant of Health. So structural determinants, these are the root causes of health inequities because they shape the quality of the social determinants of health that people experience in their neighborhoods and communities. Structural determinants, including the governing process, economic and social policies that affect pay, working conditions, housing, and education. The structural determinants affect whether the resources necessary for health are distributed equally in society, or whether they are unjustly distributed according to race, gender, social class, geography, sexual identity, or any other socially defined group of people, right? So how does the rule of law serve as a social determinant of health? I'm reading from an article that was penned by Oarabile Dingake. Whether embodied in constitutions, statutes, regulations, executive orders, administrative agency decisions, or court decisions, the law plays a profound role in shaping life circumstances and, in turn, health. The ways in which this occurs can be broken down into four categories. The law can be used to design and perpetuate social conditions that can have terrible physical, mental, and emotional effects on individuals and populations. One obvious example in this category is the separate but equal constitutional doctrine that allowed racial segregation in housing, healthcare, education, employment, transportation, and more. The law can be a mechanism through which behaviors and prejudices are transformed into distributions of well-being among populations. Healthcare discrimination and bias can take many forms. It can be based on race, ethnicity, disability, age, gender, or class, or socioeconomic status. Class-related healthcare discrimination alone can take multiple forms. Laws can be determinative of health through under-enforcement. For example, a perfectly good set of housing regulations aimed at keeping housing units safe, clean, and quiet are of little value to individual and group health if there is neither the will nor the resources to enforce them. Substandard housing conditions, including the presence of rodents, mold, peeling lead paint, exposed wires, and insufficient heat, all of which are common among low-income housing units, can cause or exacerbate asthma, skin rashes, lead poisoning, fires, and common illnesses yet a clinical encounter cannot cure these housing problems. While their consequences can be treated medically, the causes require robust enforcement of existing laws. Finally, the law can be used to structure direct responses to health harming social needs that result from factors like impoverishment, illness, market failure, and individual behaviors that harm others. All right.